The Whine and Cheese show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and welcome to Season 1, Episode Dirty 30 of the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show.
Today, we took a deep dive into the MVE Discord and all its categories and channels, new shows we have coming out as soon as next Tuesday, contest where you have the chance to win up to 1 million UPX, and also took a sneaky peeky into the exclusive cult known as the UDU's Discord server.
Yes, so get ready to dive into the muck with a fuck you and your cuck buck zuck special COVID-laced UDU and MVE episode of
The worst show ever.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese.
One is a wanker, one slinging stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Hello, welcome to the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show.
Worst show ever.
Worst show ever. Ever. You sound so fancy when you say that. Ever. However.
I shouldn't sound fancy. I got the vid, so I'll apologise in advance if I'm coughing, sneezing, wheezing, farting.
What? It would be a great, because we're episode 30 right now. So episode 30 is the vid episode.
There you go. 30. Where were you when you were 30? You remember?
Yeah, I was home alone. Nobody wanted to take me out for my birthday. All I wanted to do was go to the movies in the diner, but it didn't happen. But the year after that, I went to Vegas. So who cares? And I went by myself and I had so much fun. I'm rambling. We have a lot of really good articles to talk about.
Hang on, don't skip over my
Oh, go
story.
ahead.
And I've got one of my wavy sticks now. You've inspired me to get a wavy stick. So yeah, I had the opposite. 30, when I moved to Japan, it was when I was 29 because the cutoff age for working holiday visa is 30. So I'd been thinking about it for like 10 years and just kept thinking, oh, maybe next year. But of course, when I was 29, it was a now or never moment. So I got on over to Japan, started working like just an absolute madman, met a whole bunch of people. So for my 30th, I had a massive, big raging party at one of the all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink izakaya things, which is like they call them a Japanese pub, but it's kind of like a restaurant place. So we get out there, and the thing about Japan is like all the trains, all the services, that stops at midnight. Like you can't get the late train home or whatever. Like if you miss that last train, you're sitting in the station till the first trains roll like 5, 6 a.m. or whatever.
Like New Jersey. Go on.
So it's always a bit of a thing where, can I have one more drink or do I got to run for the train? So, we're having a great time boozing up, eating all the rest of it, yahooing. And it gets to that point where people start thinking, shit, should I get on the train? What should I do? And I'm convinced, like I'm drunk as a skunk, convince everyone, no, we're going to go to the karaoke bar. Don't worry, we'll just do karaoke and keep drinking and rah, rah, rah. Because that's what you do. If you miss a train, well, you go to sleep in a karaoke bar and sing some songs or whatever. So I convinced 3/4 of these people to go over to the karaoke bar. And within about 5 minutes of being there, I'd pass out asleep on the couch. Wake up about an hour later and say, oh, fuck this, I'm getting a taxi home.
Oh my God, that sounds like a stomach ache, a headache. Oh my God, I can't. I did my fair share of bad decisions. I know when I worked at Goldman Sachs, we had a lot of those late night drinking things. And one night, I think it was 2 a.m. I was going home by myself. I was in the Grand Concourse waiting for the 2 train. I just got off the 5 train, waiting for the 2 train. I decided to take a nap on the subway bench, which is like one of the most dangerous subways in like the Bronx area.
Yeah.
So I go lay down and there's 3 construction guys across the way. And they're like, psst, psst, hey, hey. Psst. So I'm like, oh, fuck, damn it. And I'm like, what? They're like, no, shh, don't move. Very slowly look down. So I'm like, look down. And I look down and they're like, no, at your feet. So I look at my feet and there's 5 rats on the bench with me. I screamed. The rats
nibbling on the cheese.
Yeah, ran away.
Oh.
They were laughing their ass off. I was laughing my ass off. The train came. Long story short, I got home okay.
Nice. Nibbling on the cheese. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do something similar, like when I'd go to the nightclubs on the Gold Coast here, which the Gold Coast is kind of like it's like Las Vegas, but not. It's what I mean by that is that's the spot to go to if you want to go out and party, sort of thing. So yeah, I'd go out, and it was always a case of I've got enough money for the bus, or I can have one more drink, and of course I'm going to have one more drink. So I start walking home, which is it's probably a 2-hour walk home. And I'd get maybe halfway or something, and I'd just pass out in the bus stop. So there was plenty of times I'd ring up my mum, say, and the same thing. This, the sun starts coming up, people out jogging, and people riding their bikes, and you wake up, and yeah, I'd find back in the days before cell phones, you'd go and find a payphone, and I'd have 20 cents, and I'd ring mum up, and she'd say, "Where the hell are you?" And I was like, "I've got no idea," and I'd have to find a street sign and let her know in the street. And this is, of course, again, before cell phones. She'd have to flick through the freaking map book, find out where the hell I was, and come pick me up.
I didn't have that. See, if I called my dad to pick me up when I hung out as a teenager, he would say, "How much are you paying me?"
Oh, wow.
You make it worth my while.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "I'll give you a pack of cigarettes and $5." He'll be like, "Yeah, all right."
Nice. All right. Story time with the Whine and Cheese.
Story time. I love it.
And I've got a creaky chair. I borrowed my son's chair, so apologies for the creakies.
Yeah, I'm creaky too, so it's fine.
I'm set up in the new podcast studio.
Oh, really? Not the bathroom dungeon any?
No, it's still that. It's just I'm not set up on top of the washing machine now. I'm set up on top of the chest freezer.
2 inches.
Yeah, I got a bit more room. Not a lot, but a bit.
All right. Well, let's start getting into these. Well, let's talk about Upland. I'm really interested.
Into the spiel. All right, I'll bring that up. See if you've disabled screen sharing.
Shnikes. I never enabled it. Hold on.
Did you just say shnikes?
I just said Shnike.
Hang on. I got to go and turn the fan on too.
Yeah, I always have my fan on. Even when it's cold, I like to have fan and AC.
I missed all that. I had no headphones on.
Yeah, you'll catch it when you watch it again.
Oh, interesting. Let's try that again, shall we? So yeah, we've been kind of saying for a while now, when we dig into these articles, it's a shame Upland never gets mentioned along with, Sandbox and Decentraland and whatever. So this was interesting to see on Bitcoin.com. We've got a headline: Upland Metaverse continues to expand with new features following strong performance.
I love it. So, thank you, Bitcoin.com.
Yes, I haven't actually dug into this article yet. What do you think strong performance relates to? When was this published? 3 days ago. So that's before the Queen's release, right?
Well, the thing is, like, they could mean a lot of things. The first thing that comes to my mind is when I compare Upland to things like Decentraland and Sandbox, is Upland knows how to take care of their value. They know how to kind of put like a hold on people devaluing it. Like I've been reading about Mana, and the Sandbox token has been dropping for like the last week or so. Yeah. Like people, like the minute it drops, you're going to get those sheep who sell.
Yeah.
And that's been happening for a while. And they actually predicted that would happen to them, that they were going to hit kind of like a high and then start kind of like going down. But you won't see that with Upland because their stuff is tied into the game rather than a coin.
Yeah, hopefully it never ends up on an exchange, because you're right. Like, and I know for myself, like, I think my dividends are might be 60,000 UPEX a day or something like that. I forget. It's been a while
Wow,
since
that's
I've looked
nice.
into it. So that's $60 a day, which equates to, I don't know, maybe 80 Australian dollars or something, which is, that's more than 2 hours work for some people. So yeah, if UPEX was listed on exchange, the temptation to start pulling some value out of that would be massive. And you know which direction that's going to go.
Yeah.
It's just going to plummet right off the cliff. And we've seen that with lots of projects.
And
So,
everybody that asked that question in the AMA, oh, when are we going to go? When are we going to be on the exchange? When are we going to be, part of this, part of that? And it's like, they say the same answer, never.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to do that. And like, I agree with it.
Yeah, it would have massive secondary consequences as far as the economy of property values and the US dollar out thing. Like, we already see there's a disparity between, 1,000 UPEX equals, pardon me, equals $1 US, one direction, but it doesn't equate back. I think at the moment it's like, if you try and selling properties, it's like 75 cents or something on the dollar.
Sounds right, yeah.
So yeah, apologies. I'm going to have to cut in and out here while I cough up a lung.
But yeah, I'm dying to know what they mean by this. This was a good find, Ben.
Let's have a look. So a new development on Upland will allow you to build your own business in the metaverse, earning tokens and becoming a real entrepreneur. NFT cars are also on the way to join the platform, bringing brand new ways to enjoy the play to earn experience, such as street racing.
Mm.
And then it shills their referral link, which is interesting. And Upland economy achieves strong performance. There we go. Yeah. Upland is an NFT metaverse map to the real world. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, and well, there you go. You're right. It says here that impressive figures recently showing the strength of its economy. Since 2021, the number of property owners in Upland reached 252,000 and change, and players have earned over 2.8 million US dollars. I guess that must mean the feed out system, right? The number of minted NFT assets besides properties, explorers, legits, spirit legits, ornaments, 20,000 unique NFTs. That must mean the director block explorers, I guess.
35.8 billion UPX has been purchased during this time as well. And the average daily transaction volume is 107.3 million.
So that's 100 grand.
Yeah,
that's
a day.
Cool.
This is awesome.
That can't be right, is it? No. Oh, the transaction volume. So that means all the buy, sell. Yeah. That means everything. Yeah. So 35 million UPEX has been purchased. So I wonder if that's just pure sales of UPEX. So what's that? $35 million. That's crazy.
That is
35 billion equals $35 million. $35 million, add that on top of their 18 million from Amico and Animoca brands. So that's quite a heavy war chest.
Yeah.
Awesome. And of course, I don't know about you, but most of the UPEX purchases I've made has been with crypto. And I look back on some of those exchanges now and I think, holy crap, the crypto price of what I sold for has gone through the roof too. So I don't know, with this system that they use, Utrust, maybe it converts to them to US dollars straight away. I'd assume that would be the case. Like, I don't think Upland has wallets with Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the rest of it just sitting there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So it goes on to say the Upland property market is also very active, with nearly 6,000 mints per day on the primary market and 6,700 trades in the secondary market. Yeah, we're waiting to see the minting stats on Queens. Like, I think that's well over 50% minted out already, and Queens is massive, so that's huge.
Queens is huge. Queens is like 4 Bronxes.
Yeah. So how'd you go in all that? Because I know you slept in, you knucklehead.
I slept in. I thought I didn't. Like, I got on at 9 a.m. PT my time, and right away I had like an invite from Mossy and Goldsmith to come into the Mossy's Spark Exchange chat, and it was nice. There was a lot of like familiar faces there, and I get on and I'm like, all right, 5 minutes, it's gonna happen, right? And they're like all laughing at me, and they're like, are you serious? This is a joke. You're joking, right? And I'm like, what? And they're like, it opened like an hour ago. And I'm like, oh my God, I was able to get so much. Like, I went your route. I went and I got the cheapies. They told me where to go for like 3 to 7K mints, and I bought a whole bunch of that. I got some in Hollis, I got some in Far Rockaway, I got some in other areas, and I'm still there. Like, I miss treasure hunting because I like to do standards. I know the event is on. I'm not very lucky with that. For those who are, more power to you. Time is money, time's a commodity. If you want to use your time on the game and go for it, and you do a good job, then I salute you. I'm not very good at that, so I stick to my standards, but I'm going to stay in Queens for a bit longer. I know you flew back to San Fran.
Oh, straight away. Yeah. I grabbed what I wanted to grab and I was out of there. So my goal was to get between 150 and 200 cheap properties under 1 million UPEX budget, and ended up with I think 178 for a touch over 800,000 UPEX. So yeah, I grabbed just an absolute crap ton of properties for 2K, which is just an absolute steal. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I started looking around at different areas, and I do a thing where if that's my target, I don't buy anything over a certain value. So I was minting anything under 5K, but I started getting to the point where I'd gobbled up as many of the 2K ones as I could find, the 3K, and I was getting into the high fours. And, by the time you get to that stage, you're jumping to an area just to mint 1 or 2 properties. And, I figured, nah, that's good enough. And yeah, to avoid all further temptation, like we've seen it even in the UDU chat today, I had a look and there's a lot of speculation about, this might be a collection. I've been there and done that. I'm not playing that game anymore. So yeah, I was straight on the train out of there.
I hear you. I'm getting like about 15, 16K a day. So that can buy me about 2, maybe sort of 3. So I'm just kind of like collecting my divs and seeing where I don't have something and trying to get like 3 where I don't have anything until they open the collections and show it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So let's go back to that article.
60K a day, Ben. Wow.
Well, I don't know what it is actually. I think that might have been before the div cut. So I think I'm on like 450 a week, whatever that works out to.
Jesus.
The Upland Economy is given opportunity to continue its strong performance. Metaverses they talk about. Yeah, so player owned and operated shops, blah, blah, blah. I don't think we'll go into too much depth there. An additional exciting development is that NFT cars are coming. Yes, soon. Who knows when? You said you've got some money put aside, like some fiat put aside for cars, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's still in like collecting. Like it's still
working for you.
It's still working for me. I have to sell it.
Yeah.
I have to, buy it back or whatnot. But I'm ready. Like I'm definitely going to go in that direction when that comes out.
Yeah, I've got my in-game UPEX balance ready to go for that. But if it happens to be a US dollars only sale or something, then I'm just out completely.
Really?
I'm not putting any more money into this game, so no. Whatever I do has to be within the UPEX economy. I've got nearly 10 million UPEX sitting there. Like if I can't use that within the game, then
so sell some for Fiat. Like put some sales like flip.
You know what? I've got a crap ton of stuff up. I've got my full 20. I'm allowed to sell 20 things at once. There's probably only 2 of them that are at fishing prices, like just crazy ridiculous prices. Most of them are at floor prices, and a lot of them are under the UPEX floor, but they're just not selling for whatever reason. Yeah. I'm not going too aggressive with it. Like, I'm not going to go and sell San Francisco's for $17. Frig that. So,
Yeah, no. Like
Yeah.
maybe your Detroit's, like if you bought it for like $3K, sell it for $9.
that's not even worth getting out of bed for. You know? Yeah. So we'll see. You know, like I've got some for sale. I think in Hell's Kitchen. I had one.
Oh,
I had one sell yesterday for Upex for $200K, but I think I've got one there for US dollars, like $115. So I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I won't be playing with anything, and it always seems to happen. Like I always build up a nice little US dollar balance, and then like I just had to buy some more. What did I just buy? I had to buy 2 more Midtown Terrace properties that came on the market. So I always seem to get screwed right when I need it. So see what happens. But yeah, they go on to talk about cars and showrooms and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's the end of that. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see a story about Upland on a big
Yeah.
platform like Bitcoin.com. So very good.
Like the only thing that could have made this article better is if they said Upland, unlike Decentraland and Sandbox, is doing really great.
Yes.
But I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
No. All right. So what do we have up next? Oh, this is one that you found.
Yeah, this is a dough moment. Dough.
I did see this on Twitter actually. Once I jumped over. Hang on, where's Zoom?
Yeah, you
So-
can't have wine and cheese without bread, and in order to make bread, you need dough.
There you go.
So this
Guy
guy,
buys NFT for 2.9 million, asks for 48 million, is offered 3,600. So this was the Jack Dorsey first ever tweet NFT, right?
yeah,
So
now
this
I don't
person-
understand that. I mean, I get it because, like we discussed in another show, that NFTs are basically just timestamps and like showing of ownership. Whatever you put on the blockchain is kind of like what you're showcasing for that time and ownership. So I get that it's a piece of history. I get that people want to own pieces of history, but it's weird to me. Like, I could see art, I could see utility in gaming, but like tweets.
Well, it's kind of back to it reminds me of the .com days where people who were early on were just going out and buying up domains, Madonna.com, Coke.com. They're just speculating that a little bit further down the track, they're going to make huge money on it. So yeah, this guy paid 2.9 million for the NFT of Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet. And yeah, put it up for auction expecting to get 48 million. Said he was hoping to get around 50 million for it, and then he was going to donate at least 25 million of it to charity. Yeah, but what was the high bid? 3,600.
That's hilarious.
The highest offer in the auction was for $277.
Wow.
A subsequent offer has since come in for 3,600. That's crazy. I might never sell it. Yeah, well, if you want 50 million for it, I doubt you will.
He has no choice.
Oh, this is interesting. The timing of the sale is certainly interesting. Estavi was just released from prison in Iran,
Wow.
where he had spent 9 months after being arrested on charges of disrupting the economic system. In that time, his cryptocurrency ventures crashed, and his attempts to appease those burned by that collapse are being met with skepticism. Oh, so there's a bit of history there with this guy.
So this is just karma, I'm guessing. Wow.
And it goes on to say, now there's been a lot of FUD recently in the NFT space, and it's all crashing and dying. So the auction came at a time when NFT sales on OpenSea, the single largest marketplace, were down around 50%, from a high of 5 billion in January to 2.5 billion in March.
Wow.
So this has sparked moves from blue chip NFT owners to search for alternative uses for their tokens, blah, 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 blah. So Yeah, that's very interesting. This kind of leads straight into the next topic we had. So, there's all this FUD that the prices are going down. It's all, the bubble's about to burst and whatnot. But then we have an article here. CryptoPunk NFT sells for 3.2 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
this
so
Alex,
crazy. They're so ugly. I hate them.
yeah, they're really bad.
And I like pixel art, and I hate them.
Yeah, so it sold for a whopping 1,050 Ethereum, so almost 3.2 million.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and it just goes on, blah 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 blah.
I can make that in literally a minute.
Yes.
Literally a minute. And then my art, it takes me weeks to do. You see how I painstakingly get every shadow.
Yeah, but it's all about that hype, that speculation. 3.2 million. Holy crap! That's a lot of cheddar.
That's a lot
pixels.
of cheddar. Jesus,
So
3.2 million.
I think this kind of stuff is at the pointy end of the ridiculous side of NFTs. This is at the real bubble bursting speculation kind of you're going to get wrecked side of things. The next article we got is the complete opposite of that. When you're a kid, do you have Wheat Bix in America?
What is it?
Wheat Bix breakfast cereal?
Wheat Bix.
Yeah.
No.
Can you see that, or do I have to switch
Oh
it
yeah,
over?
I see that. What the hell
Yeah.
is that?
So this is like super popular breakfast cereal in Australia. It's literally bricks of wheat that you put, you mix with milk, and I always used to have it hot. We used to put hot milk on it with banana and honey and that sort of thing. It's a breakfast cereal. Anyhow, so Wheat Bix always has a campaign, or when I was a kid, they used to always have a campaign around cricket season or football season where you'd get a little mini pack of collector cards. So you'd hassle mum, "Come on, mum, we got to get some more Wheat Bix. I got to get the cards." So you'd open up the Wheat Bix and you'd dig down through and you'd get out your little pack of 4 cards or whatever, and you're like, "Oh god damn it, it's a double." And you take them to school and trade them with people at school and that sort of thing. So this was massive when I was a kid. I believe it's still ongoing, although my kids don't eat Wheat Bix, so I don't know, maybe it's not. Did you have anything like that with baseball cards or whatever?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the cornflakes had some, or
Yeah.
Cheerios or whatnot.
So same kind of system, yeah.
Yeah, but the Wheat Bix, we have something similar where they're not big chunks like that. They're like little, I forgot what they're called, but they have the regular and then they have the one with the frosting on top.
Oh, is that those like crisscross puff things?
Oh no, it's a cereal.
Yeah.
It's a cereal. Maybe
Yeah,
somebody
anyways.
can figure out the name and say it in chat when
Oh,
this
yeah, they're probably-
airs.
One of the sickos is clawing their face going, "You idiots." Yeah. But that's old school NFTs right there. When you're talking about those kind of collector cards and you got to go and swap with your friends and that sort of stuff. So that's old school NFTs. Now, the reason I bring that up is because the Australian cricket team is about to launch an official range of NFTs.
Now,
So
where are they putting it under?
I don't know. We'll have a look at that in a second. Digital assets of some of the most memorable moments in Australian cricket will be available to own and trade under an NFT license agreement announced today. So, we've talked about this previously where the Red Bull Formula One team is moving in, a whole bunch of other sporting things. And of course, we already know that the NFL is in. Basketball is a huge one with the top shots and whatnot. So let's see. They have signed a multi-year licensing deal with Singapore-based collectives platform Rario and NFT trading company Block Trust.
Who are they?
Rario and Block Trust, I don't know, but
I
maybe we can
see,
dig
but
into
that's
that
the thing. Like
somehow.
there have been so many things I wanted to get. Like I got this one Wayne Gretzky NFT thing from that sports betting thing, and they have their own little wallet. So this is going to have CNN has their own wallet. It's just like weird. Like why can't they just find something that most people use and just kind of put it on there. Like
Yeah.
even like poly, well, preferably poly.
Yes, I don't know. We can dig into that. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be kind of almost like the NBA Top Shots, where it's snapshots of, you know, iconic moments and that sort of thing. So that's cool. Yeah, it says here, sports like basketball, Formula One, and football have been sporting trailblazers in the NFT space. The Australian Football League, which is the AFL, just announced details of a similar licensing agreement. So we've been saying it, it's all heading this way. So that's cool. Maybe you can do some quick clickety clicking. What's Rario? If I try and do it, my computer will die.
Let's see.
We are excited to step into the metaverse with our partners Rario, Block Trust, and the Australian Cricketers Association, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cricket has a very long history and that sort of stuff. This is an exciting opportunity for Australian cricket, and this has been reflected in the cooperative spirit of the ACA, the Cricket Association.
Well, I mean, they have a Discord. You want me to share this?
Sorry, I'm just coughing up a lung. Yeah, sure. You can bring it
Aw.
up.
All right, let's see. Share that. Share. Faster now. So this is Rario.
Yeah, they have their own marketplace, apparently.
They have like join our Discord. They have a Discord. Connect with us. Let's just see what their marketplace looks like.
It says here, Rario uses Polygon blockchain. So
Perfect. So if you could get in there with MetaMask.
yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Very cool.
Let me just see if
yeah,
it.
they got links to Discord. They've got whitelist. I just lost you there for a second. Oh, there you go. They've already got some up. $10, $5 grand, $8. So there's quite a good range there. Ricky Ponting, he's a pretty famous Australian cricketer. So, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. That's very promising. If I could use my MetaMask here, that would be.
Yeah, probably there's a way once you've signed up and logged in and all the rest of it, you'll be able to connect up.
True that.
Very cool. So yeah, we won't stick on that for too much longer, but I just thought that was interesting that, you know, we've got the CryptoPunk side of things, like I said, which is just the full-on pointy end, the speculation, all the hype, the craziness, whereas this cricket stuff is more the actual nuts and bolts of what we're likely to see and people will be interested in.
True that.
What do we have up next? Oh, now we're getting into the good stuff. Oh gosh, this really made me laugh, this one. So thinking about creating in the metaverse, Facebook will take nearly half your revenue.
Wow.
So we already know that Apple charges like, what is it, 30% on their sales or, you know, in-app purchases and whatnot. But Facebook is gearing up to sting people 47.5% of sales.
Well, you know
digital
who their
assets.
target is. Their target is the people who are ignorant in this arena. Like you're gonna see people like, oh, I want to get into NFTs, but I don't want to do any research. Sort of like selling stuff online and using a third party that's taking so many Redbubble that's taking so much commission from your stuff, but they're handling everything. They're handling the manufacturing, they're handling the shipping details and this and that. And I think this is going to be similar.
What's madness? Like that's not even with tax applied. So if you've got to put your tax liabilities on top of that, you're probably what? You might get take home 30%.
Yeah.
That's just,
yeah.
Wow. It really does seem like this whole Zuck the cuck thing with his meta is just every step that they could possibly do wrong to piss everybody off. and take the worst turn possible. They just seem to be headed straight for it.
He seems to really be taking advantage of the newness of NFTs and people who want to get in, but don't want to do as much research, sort of thing.
It's strange because like many of the people that are in their metaverse NFT space, they're very wary of when Zuck came on board with this whole plan, Meta. That it was very much a get the crucifix, stay away kind of system. Now, wouldn't you think if and surely they know that, wouldn't you think instead of doing the direct route where they're going to try and shake you down for every freaking penny you've got, wouldn't you go the opposite direction? And if the general consensus in the market, like I said with Apple, and that is 30%, well, make it 20%.
Exactly. I
go
guess
the opposite way.
I guess he feels like there's going to be such a high demand, and there are a lot of stupid people out there. So like, what?
I think it's the other way. I think they're. How can I explain it? It happens here. Like, you might have a really nice restaurant that you go to that has a bar and that sort of stuff. You go there, the prices are good, the food's amazing, but then they keep bumping up the prices and the quality of the food starts to go down. And then you go to buy a beer and suddenly a beer is 80 cents more. They're not getting enough people in the door, so they start putting the prices up. Well, you're going the opposite way, because as soon as that happens, all you regulars, like, I don't go there anymore. If you're putting the prices up and it's the same or worse quality, fuck you, I'll go somewhere else. So
I see this more as a Redbubble type thing. Like we're doing so much right now. We have so much on our plate, and we also want to sell merchandise with our name on it, right? So we can either add that to our plate and do all this extra work, or we could just say, you know what, screw it, Redbubble. They're gonna take like a crap load of like tax off of us and charge us so much, but we don't have time to do it. Sort of thing. Like, I feel like this is geared toward people like that, like companies who need to be in here, but just can't find the time for it.
Yeah, well, it says that the overall charge comprises of 30% hardware platform fee and then a further 17.5% as far as some other Horizon platform fee. So, I don't know, it just seems crazy. On Monday, the tech giant said it would start testing tools for creators to sell. So they haven't even started testing, and they're already saying how much they're going to sting you for. They haven't even started testing and ironing out the bugs. So, old mate Zuck can go and get fucked.
Yeah, like we're already in the spot. Like this is our kind of full time. But like, if they started selling merchandise like t-shirts and stuff, I would probably look into it.
Yeah. Well, here's the kicker. It says here, Meta Chief Executive Officer Mark Zuckerberg has been a critic of Apple's App Store fees of 30%. So he's been ragging on Apple, stinging people for 30%, but now he's gonna sting people nearly 50%. Yeah, just piss off, mate. Yeah. So anyway.
Wow.
So I thought that was very interesting. So,
yeah.
You'd think they'd be going for high volume. That's kind of what I'm alluding to. Like, if you can put your fees lower and increase the volume, well, you're going to end up with the same amount of income. Where they're going for, lower volume and higher stinging fees. It just seems like they're trying to take every. It's almost as if somebody inside is trying to bankrupt Facebook and destroy the company. If you're a conspiracy theorist, because they just seem to be making every bonehead move possible.
Yeah, they're trying to really kind of like take as much as they can early on before they do anything. I'm sure they'll bring it down, but they'll see how many people they can rob before they do that.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So I think that leads straight over into the next one. So what do you think about this?
Great ones. Yeah,
Meta plans Zuckbucks.
I was interested.
I got geo-locked. Maybe I can get back in. Oh no, there it is. I still got it.
All right.
You were interested, you said?
I was interested in learning more about it, but at this point, after reading that, high percentage in the last article, I think Zuck can go buck off.
For these cuck bucks. Yes. I think it's probably a case of like what you said at the start of the show. Like once this comes on board, you probably see a spike in the price where everybody piles in and goes the FOMO, but then you wait for that dump, baby.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so he plans to launch virtual coins for Facebook and Instagram users. And this is interesting. Zuck the Cuck hopes payment tokens will reduce the platform's reliance on adverts as popularity wanes. So we know that Facebook is quickly becoming a boomer kind of thing, and people are kind of getting over it and moving on to different kind of realms like the metaverse and that sort of stuff. Like I used to be pretty heavy as far as creating pages in Facebook for the different like game communities I'd built and that sort of thing. Like with the UDU, we do have a Facebook page, but we don't put any time or effort into that really. I mean, it's because there's no, I don't know. And maybe it's a case of if you build it, is it, there's not much happening there because we don't do much, or is there, we could put a crap ton of time, effort and money into it and it's still not going to do much. Where if we put the same time and effort into Twitter or Discord or something, there's much greater engagement in those sorts of platforms.
Yeah.
And who was it? D-Tech was recently talking about Instagram. So, that's something that may be a case like that's still tied up with Facebook. I know pretty much when I use Facebook now, it's only to go over and check some memories. And then last thing at night before I go to bed, I usually have a look through the Instagram short videos. I usually go down a rabbit hole with those. But aside from that, I don't do much there at all.
Doesn't he look like he's a little bit Marshall Mathers over there, Eminem?
Oh, he does.
Yeah, the hairdo, the nose, the stare.
Why he's so
you think
serious?
He's got any work done on him? I think so.
I don't know. I think he's a freaking alien. But yeah. They're looking to develop these coins nicknamed Zuckbucks by staff for use in Facebook and Instagram as part of a suite of products designed to reduce his platform's dependence on advertising in the future metaverse. So, I don't know.
So what do you think? Do you think he's going to start, like, for me, if you're going to take away one platform that's giving you money and you're going to go to another, like, do you think he's going to start charging for Facebook, or like you get the basic, if you want to do other stuff, you have to pay in Zuckbucks?
Yeah, well, that's something that's been talked about on and off for a while. Like, I don't know about you, but I've got, thousands of photos on Facebook from when all the kids were young, like as babies, even before then. Like I said, all those stories about Japan, thousands upon thousands of photos there. I can very much see a point where if the popularity continues to wane and they're looking for new ways to make an income, then it wouldn't be surprising to see something like a subscription service where if you want to continue to have access to your account and to your photos, well, you got to pay us $2 a month, or, well, based on the figures that we just seen, maybe it's $40 a month or something stupid. But yeah, I could definitely see that happen.
Yeah. Or like you want more storage for your photos, you have a specific amount, but if you want to add more photos, yeah, that's definitely an avenue they can go into.
Yeah. And it goes back to my restaurant pub analogy. Like if you're seeing a drop in clientele and you continue to sting the ones that you have for every penny, well, you're going to have less clientele. Shouldn't you be focusing on why your clientele's dropping and trying to address that?
Yeah.
Instead of shaking down people for money to get what you can out of it, well, invest in the reasons why people are leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So unless it's just a dead horse and then there's no point flogging it. So
beat the shit out of that horse.
So I don't know what you won't be in a hurry to line up and buy some cuck bucks.
No, and I mean, unless it gets to the point where, we need to for our photos. Because, like, to be honest, like, I do have my stuff on a OneDrive, but it is kind of very convenient to just like share things like that.
Yeah, and to have it all separated in the various albums and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely. Now, normally this is the point in the show where we switch on over to our guest, but we've been stood up twice, 2 days in a row by our supposed guests. So fuck that guy, and we'll just do what we do.
We'll do what we do. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, man. Like, our shit is very exciting right now.
So you came up with the idea of maybe having a look at what we got going on and what's where we've been, where we're headed, sort of thing.
Ben got the vid, and when he's home, his creative receptors go freaking crazy, and I love it. And he's just been like, with all these ideas and all these new things, and Ben, kind of go ahead, like, take it away.
Well, maybe I can take it back. Like, when was it? 3 weeks ago, my eldest son, he caught COVID at high school, so we're all sent into isolation for a week. So I got caught up on a bunch of stuff then. And I should say that everybody's fine. The kids, all 3 kids wrote it out pretty easily, just mild fevers and that sort of thing. Probably the worst hit has been my wife, she had a pretty rough day yesterday. But it's mostly just like cold and flu symptoms, sore bones, bit of a cough, that sort of thing. I had a bit of a rough night last night with a cough, but I did the old wives' tale trick where you slather your bottom of your feet with Vicks Vapor Rub and put some socks on. That seemed to fix it up. So, anyway, so we're in isolation for a week there. I went back to work. The kids went back to school for a week, and then my daughter got it, and then my son, and then, of course, the wife and I finally got it too. So it's been almost 3 weeks in isolation. So, I've been trying to pump out and get as much done of all these little different things we've got going on. Get it done. So I've been cracking the whip.
You got a lot
with
done.
Myself.
It's incredibly impressive. Like just with because we're coming out with the UDU NFTs for the roles, and you got together with DTech and you got that all done. I have to start minting those this weekend. I'm going to try to get all of them out. I'm going to start doing it little by little, starting with ours and then moving on. And you also came up with the advertising thing for the our new and upcoming MVE show. And you even figured out all the stuff for the MVE show. It's freaking crazy, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go through it bit by bit, shall we? So we'll start with the NFTs, I think, because that's something we've been talking about since the UDU started. We talked about membership NFTs.
She looks so happy with her little cake.
Oh, that lady. Yeah. Master Chef. So we'll come on over to the UDU website. Now, back in the early stages of the UDU, the Upland Development United team, there was some people come on board. Yes, I'm going to do the NFT. So I'd had Zoom meetings with these people. We'd come up with all these ideas, flesh them all out. Let's go. And then nothing. And then take 2, take 3. And yeah.
I was one of those takes, but I totally messed up.
No, you did like the Spark Train and a few different things.
True.
But then you're so, because we're episode 30 of the Whine and Cheese show, and it's a weekly show. So you're talking about, over half a year's worth of shows plus the breaks we've had. So, and I know you're working on the Waffles Kitty NFT now. So that means you got to do Waffles Kitty, Tales of the Crypto.
Tales of the Crypto. I can't wait.
Plus potentially this one too. So, you've got your hands full.
Yes. So thank God for DTech.
Yes, massive thanks to DTech, and he took it to really the next level.
Yes, he did.
But we'll run through this. I sent this to you yesterday. I updated a bunch of stuff on the website. I've left Screw's original artwork in there for the logos because I think that's important to keep that all in. We know the formation, timeline, team evolution. Not much happening there. Frequently asked questions. I'm still getting DMs through the week, like on Twitter and Discord, What's the UDU? How can I get involved? I want to be a member, that sort of thing. The first thing I do is say, go and check out UDU World. All the information's over there. If you can't even be bothered to come over and read this, well, you're not UDU material. So that's the end of the story. So pretty much everything you need to know is here between the frequently asked questions and the membership and ethos tabs. Yeah. Like I said, if you can't be bothered to even read that, then, you know.
And you did
Move
all
along.
this. This is so well done, Ben.
So we got our Nodiotes. Now I did axe the old artwork there that had the
you added them and it looks so
cult.
good.
Yeah, so this is the full range of the DTech NFTs for now. For those that are just listening and aren't watching on the YouTubes, since the inception of the UDU, when we bursted on the scene a year ago, we very, very quickly got labelled as a cult. And I've mentioned this several times where initially I was very defensive of that because we knew it wasn't true. But there was, in reflection, there was a lot of cultish behavior. Recently, what would you say? Probably the last 4 months, maybe? We just decided to lean right into that. And if you want to label us a cult, if you want to label us a cult, all right, we're all about it. So we embrace it, have a bit of fun with it. So, yeah. And DTech has upgraded the llama. Like we know the Miles llama from the Upland official branding, he's a bit of a goofy looking dude with his monocle and that sort of stuff. So here we've got Mephi, he's a badass. We've been joking around that he's the older stepbrother. You know? And
of
DTech
Michelle in there.
Yeah, DTech's funny. Like he agonized over these ears for like 3 or 4 days. They came out awesome. And especially the coloration on the UDU llama's face. Like we played around with different shading and different fur patches. And originally he had like a dark fur patch on one side. And I was like, hang on a minute, that almost looks like black metal corpse paint. So let's get that going on both sides. And I just think it looks shit hot. So yeah, if you are just listening, make sure you head on over to the YouTube or do a bit of a search around and check it out because it's just really incredible work, DTech. So yeah, I patched a few little different bits and pieces in for that. Metaverses, there's not much happening there yet, although you and I are discussing that a bit more today. Samurai Cottage, that's all still in the works. But over here to the membership, this is where we get to see the full range of the UDU membership NFTs. So these are pretty much ranked in order of the hierarchy within the UDU. So at the top, we have the Sovereigns, which is the UDU administration, which is bada bing, bada boom. That's Cheese and I. So we're gold cloak, black trim, gold lettering. And then we have our Sentinels, which are kind of that's almost like the council, the UDU council managers. So black cloak, gold trim. And then we've got our Acolytes. Now, the Acolytes are our regular members that are actively involved in node development. So they're black cloak, red trim. So we played around with the different colors and that sort of stuff just to mix it up, but to give it like some, I don't know, some appeal. What would you say? Distinguishability? Something like that. Now these next two, the Artificer, which is a blue cloak with gold trim, and the Meditainer, which is a green cloak with gold trim. Cheese and I were agonizing over these because we realized once DTech had sent us the NFTs, we realized, oh crap, we don't have one for Node Manager. But then that was going to give us eight NFTs, which was going to throw out the whole vibe of the full lineup. So we needed one more, and that's where we came up with the green one. So we had the colors before we had what they were going to be for. So Cheese came up with the idea with this dark blue. That's for node managers. So if you're within the UDU team and you're a node manager, then you will receive that NFT as well. And then we came up with this one, Meditainer. Now, we were agonizing over a name for this one. You remember what some of the ones were? Some of them were pretty horrendous.
Oh, God. I can't even remember.
And we ended up pulling DTech into a Zoom chat to try and work it out. I think it was like 3 a.m. and he was whispering because his wife was asleep.
I think his wife yelled at him at one point.
Yeah. So we came up with Meditainer. Now this is going to be. Are we restricting this to only UDU members who are involved in the Metaverse Ventures Entertainment server, or we're going to pass this on to just anybody in the MVE who's the Friends of MVE role, right?
I kind of feel like this could be an honorary. You're not in the UDU, but you're an honorary UDU meditainer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know,
And I came up with
Jonesy,
meditainer, by the
Seppuku.
way, not DTech.
Yes, you did. Yes. Yeah, so think of people like Seppuku, Jonesy, and there's probably a bunch of other ones in there. Now, a lot of people that are in that Friends of MVE list are UDU members, so they'll just get it regardless. But yeah, I think that's cool. It's kind of almost like a, what was the word you just said? Whatever you just said. Yes, exactly. That was perfect.
Honorary.
That's it. Yes. So we have our old guard. Now, this came about because, you know, the UDU is the oldest, most exclusive, most transparent, no development team in the Upland game. Nobody can deny that because that's the facts. Now, we've been very hardcore about actively removing unengaged people from our server. We're not the place for lurkers, shirkers, dirtbags, shitbags. There's plenty of other servers you can go and join if you want to be that. So we did get us into a point where we had a dungeon within the server. So if your account was inactive, you got chucked in the dungeon. Well,
Yeah, that was fun, but then some people got really butthurt over it.
Yeah, I guess they didn't see the humor in it. Even though we've been very open and honest, like if you're not active, you got the can. So
Yeah.
I mean, and all it was going to take was for somebody to give us a heads up. Hey, I got some shit going on, and I'll see you in 6 months, and that would have been totally fine. So we came up with this old guard system. So now, if you're one of those old members that's kind of dropped off the radar or whatever, your access as far as within the server to what you have been involved in, that will remain. But any of the new stuff that we kick off with, you won't have access to that. But you will be classified as an old guard. So that way it kind of protects us. It protects us from having, and we've seen this before. People think it's a conspiracy, but it has happened multiple times where within the UDU, we're going to talk about a new node we're going to push for. And then we suddenly find that members that haven't been active at all within the team, suddenly they've bought up a whole bunch of properties in the node that we're going to develop. So that's a bit of a dog act as far as I'm concerned. And then they try and flip them to you and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that ain't happening no more. So if we're going to run a push for a new node, that's going to be a new channel. And if you're in the old guard, you ain't going to get access to that. You have to be an active member to get access to the active situations. So that's that one. And we've got our Neophytes now. Neophyte is for a new UDU member who may not yet have node properties. And we have had a few people come in. Originally, you had to have node properties as far as your upgrade to UDU was concerned. However, we've relaxed that a bit because we do realize that there's some people who want to get involved that can come to us and work with us in ways that are beyond just node development. So that's kind of an avenue for them as well. And then last but not least is our vetting members. So they're our fresh newbies, our probationary members who are just dipping their little toes into the UDU pool. I don't know, did you want to speak to those at all before I blab on more?
I think they're awesome, well done, and I couldn't have done better, or even probably half as good.
Yes. Well, I don't mean yes that you couldn't have done it, but yeah, it's really awesome work by DTech. So
yeah.
And I made a mistake. There is one more. That's the UDU node participant. So this example is Midtown Terrace United. So like Cheese and I, we have properties in all of the nodes. So we're going to get all of the different NFTs. Lone Mountain United, the Bronx United, that sort of thing. So we're going to get all those. So if you're a member who is in one node, you'll get one of these. If you're in several nodes, you'll get all of the different node variations of the NFTs.
Now, In regards to mint number,
Yes, that's
That-
something we talked about. Yep.
that will be random.
No, yes, because we did talk about like mint number is going to be related to when you came in on the team and membership, but it's just a huge mess because we've had you know, our old membership list. There was people that had come into the team and bailed out of the team. The guest that was supposed to be here today, for example, he's team member number 2. So you know,
Who does number 2 work for?
Yes.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I love Austin Powers.
so yeah, it's just to simplify the whole thing. It's going to be random. So you're going to get the NFTs up on Nifty. You're going to associate the WAMs with those different NFT categories. We're going to put the blast out. If you want your NFT, go over and claim it. If you don't go over and claim it, like we're not airdropping these to you, you have to actually put some effort in. If you don't claim it, well, I don't know what, 2 months down the track or whatever it is, we'll just remove your WAM and we'll recycle it and pass it on to somebody else who's active. So yeah, that just saves a whole bunch of drama. So except for, I think it's probably only the Sentinels, not the Sentinels, the Sovereigns. So that's the UDU admins. That'll be mint number 1, mint number 2 for
hell yeah.
yourself and myself.
I'll be your new number 2, man.
But as far as everyone else, it's just going to be, just a random. So,
Yeah.
And we're going pretty high with the mint numbers, so we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. So it could be that you might be a Sentinel, which is our moderators and council, that sort of thing. So I think we may have 5 of those, is it? Who am I thinking of?
About, yeah.
Yeah. But if we have 500 mints available, you might click over there and you might be mint number 482.
Not entirely. So I can mint these on demand. Let's say I mint about like you said, for example, say 500. Let's say I only mint 20 of them. So, and I put into Nifty 20 and it'll be randomized. So
within that 20.
so they would get 1 out of 20. And then
that's a much better idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Very cool. So yeah, that's as far as the UD goes. So we've been working on all that sort of stuff. So, and you know, we've had Finn had somebody in the Upland Development, no, not Upland Development, in the normal Upland channel say, hey, you know, I applied for UDU ages ago and they're ghosting me. And he's like, well, hang on a minute. We told you that where vetting is shut down. And if you haven't heard back from us, throw a shoe at us and we'll chase it up. We do have several people that are in the vetting list, but we want to get these NFTs out and done. And then we can slowly start onboarding people again. So
Yeah.
bit of a tricky one, that one. And it requires patience. Like if you're going to come into the UDU, you got to have patience. And that's kind of one of our, it's very interesting when you talk to people. Like I'll get a DM say, hey, I want to join the UDU. Can you send me a link to the server? I'm like, that's not how we roll. Give me your details. I ask some introductory questions. And if you haven't heard back from me in 6 weeks, let me know. And you can very clearly, some people say, well, fuck that, in a polite way. And, you know, they're not for us. And some people say, yeah, no worries. So.
Yeah, like if UDU is very exclusive, but the MVE, which is a branch of the UDU, is not. And if you want to be a part of us, but don't want to be in a node sort of cult, because that's what we are, I don't care, join the MVE. And you can, I'm always in the chat there, almost always. Feel free to come in. You could talk to me whenever, send us messages and whatnot. And it's definitely an extension of our UDU.
Yes, and that's a perfect segue. I'll bring that up now. And yeah, it's been really cool. I jump on every now and then and have a look over there, and you're always in there playing games and stuff with a whole bunch of people or doing your artwork and that. So that's really cool to see. So I'll switch over from the UDU website, which I should say, if you're listening, is udu.world. And we're going to switch over to the MVE website, which is mve.productions. Yeah, and you're exactly right. MVE is the kind of open public version of the UDU and all of the stuff that we're involved in as far as NFTs, Metaverse, podcasts and that sort of thing. And yep, there's a link straight away to the Discord, to the MVE Discord. Jump
Join
on
us.
over there.
Join us. We want you.
Should we go and have a look at that
Sure.
now? All right. And now I believe I need to stop share, or does that transfer straight over? Can you see that?
Try. Let's try. No, I don't
have
see. You would have to.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I gotta change it over. Let me make sure that everybody doesn't see something they're not supposed to see.
Well, yeah, because all right, the game text and the voice chat is not monitored.
Monitored, yeah. Well, there's some boobies straight away. There you go. Some little boobies. So we'll get to that. So
she does have that cute little 18/ thing up on her name there.
Yes. So yeah, if you find yourself over in the MVE server, you got a bunch of rules to check out. Now I haven't actually. That's probably something I need to go through and check that needs to be updated, but maybe not. As always, check the rules, read what we're all about. Are you not meta-teamed? And then, yeah, within the MVE server now, everybody gets a bit of a sneak peek at the backstage here. We have some admin channels. We have moderator chat, content creators chat, the newsroom, which was set up as part of the Breaking Badly show. Arthur, which is D-Tech, that was part of it as well. And Cheese has her bots playground, which...
Dude, is that really
the back end.
the only Discord channels you have left?
Yes, I went hardcore. Yes.
Wow.
As I said, there are several in here, but yeah. And I even yesterday I went through and I removed myself from a few more that I just wasn't actively engaged in.
I have to do that.
And that's part of this came up with our supposed guest from today. This came up in our chat as well. He was like, "Well, why did you leave our server?" sort of thing, and it was like, this is all part of that burnout I had 2 or 3 weeks ago where it's just like, it's too much, trying to do too many things. There's too much going on. I just need to strip down to what I can actually focus on. So,
yeah.
It's not about, I don't like you, fuck you. I don't care about your stuff. I just don't have the time to devote to all of these little bits and pieces. The limited amount of time that I do have available, I need to devote it to and focus on things that I can do, sort of thing.
Definitely
just
understand.
Spread myself out too thinly.
Wow, that looks so beautiful.
So yes, some of the main, and I do need to go and clean this up as well. Like most servers have, we have an announcements channel. The Udu Podcast show, that's just a new one that's coming up. We'll get to that in a minute. Whine and Cheese show. What's that?
Tuesday. The podcast. No, later.
Podcast comps. That's kind of tied up with the new UDU podcast show, which I guess I could probably move that there, but I'm going to move Whine and Cheese up the top because it's the older show. So that's better. Breaking Badly News. That is going to be amalgamated into the new podcast show. So I'll probably move that down into past projects. The Oz and New Zealand Cafe Hour. That was another one that Lily and I tried to get going over in the Upland Cafe, but we just never kind of built an audience. And that was like at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. my time or something, which was after I'd got up, done the UDU team meeting in the morning, worked a full day, and then come home, deal with the kids, and then do that. It was all part of my burnout. So we've put the kibosh on that. The Upland Mash show, that's another one that has been amalgamated into the new UDU podcast show. So that needs to be moved as well. And then we've got kind of the official stuff, NFTs. So we got Morecheese Wax, the Meta member. We haven't really.
We have two there now.
We need to do some more stuff with that, don't we? We need to make that a bit more exclusive or something. Maybe some previews we can talk about.
We may have to move somebody with the first letter C into there, just because this person watches every show and comments on every single show. But I'll talk to you offline about that.
Cool. Yeah, and drops and NFC chat and that sort of thing. But this the real kind of meat and gravy where we're trying to go with this server, aside from the official stuff that we do, like the Whine and Cheese show and the Udu Podcast show, is the Friends of the MVE. Like, the whole purpose of this server is to act like a library and a jumping off point for various little projects. We want to highlight all of the things that UDU members are involved in, but it doesn't you don't have to be in the UDU to be involved here. It's there's a lot of people that aren't. And excuse me, I'm going to cough up a lung. So maybe Cheese, you can start running through this list and what these are all about.
All right. So we have our MVE friends, which are basically, people that we kind of run with, and we are either in the UDU or just really close friends to the UDU. We have the NFT Gamer with T. Davis, the Uplando Show with, of course, Uplando, Icon Variety Show with Scooby, Upland Brazil, that's Musita. He did such a great, oh my God. I get distracted, Ben, so this is a mistake putting me in charge of this. He did such a great YouTube video recently on like the basics of Upland, where you actually see him in the map. He did it in Portuguese, and he's gonna do another one in English, so that will be really, really cool to
we better give Missita a bit of a smack too, because that's the sort of stuff he should be posting in here.
He really, it's gorgeous. Like, I'll tell him, like, start putting your videos up in your channel.
Yeah. Even if it's just copy and paste the link over, absolutely. Yep.
So well done.
And like the community that Missita's built, like, is really, really amazing. Like, I think he's got 1,000 subscribers and that sort of stuff. So, and he gets together and does his own Brazil show. I think that might be a once a week show, which is really cool to see. Yep.
Yeah. And just like so many really cool people, like.
Yeah, Upland Analysis is Radish Head, who's got a great YouTube channel that's all about Upland as well. Again, might want to give him a bit of a smack, say, hey, start posting stuff over there. Upland Guide, YK 2012, the same. The UCC, Dak's he was pretty good at posting some stuff. Yeah, so he gets in there and posts some stuff every now and then. The Nasty Hooks, we kind of set that up because, Cheese and I are big fans. The Nasty Hooks have done a lot of work. They did the UDU theme song, they did the Whine and Cheese theme song and that sort of stuff. So we put some stuff there. The Online In, this is a previous guest.
And our starting point before we got our MVE Discord channel, which was really nice and convenient to have and be a part of before we could find a time to do our own kind of thing. So thank you to Frazzle.
Yes, absolutely. And he's been a guest on the Whine and Cheese show too. So, and then of course we've got the amazing Lil.
Our Lil.
And Lil's great. She's always posting links in here, drops and that sort of stuff. This is what the MBU server's for.
Yes. Yes.
So this is perfect. Love seeing all the drops she does in there and all the wonderful work she does. And D-Tech, I don't know, has he done much? No, he hasn't posted much in there either. So we've got a few little smacks to give out, I think.
He's been so busy though. Like we can give him a little bit of a pass. Like his daughter does all these things and he kind of like adds on to them to make them, really detailed. And he was supposed to do this one judgmental bunny. I call it judgmental bunny because of the way the eyes are. And I really want him to make an NFT of that, but he's been so busy. So we'll give him a little leeway.
Absolutely. So yeah, and then we've got Upland Nights with Seppuku, LaField Jazz Club. That's tied up with Bocchio and Slav and a project they've got going on with Super Miles United. Jonesy, who we've had on as a guest before with all these cool office stuff now. He keeps hinting about all these different interns. Where's the Whine and Cheese interns?
Where's us? Where are we? Gosh.
Come on,
Jonesy, come on.
Upland Maps, that's Steve.
Steve's awesome.
He's a UDU member and he's one of the Sentinels, so he's in the UDU Council. Level Z Waywax. Well, that's how I say it. I don't know how you say it. Levels We. So this is a relatively new UDU member who's come on and created their just a really brilliant NFT project. Like the art on this is amazing. I
Does
love
he
it.
have my cheese up there in the beginning? I think it would be.
I don't know. I've been
Oh.
gobbling up as many of these as I can get my hands on
I
before I run
know.
out of funds.
He's amazing. If he didn't put it, I'm gonna smack him. I'll tell him to put it up there because he did one. I asked him to do.
Oh yes, I did get one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he only did 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I told him how I do custom NFTs, and depending on how much the person wants minted will depend on the cost of it. And I think it came out to 40 wax, and it was only like 5, so it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then MASC, that's another project by UDU member Slav. So that's really cool as well. And then MVE Friends Chat. Now, as we said at the top, all of this is designed as it's the library. Just kind of come and click some links and that sort of stuff. It's all about, like, I don't know, what would you say? The library is the best analogy that I can use. Like if you've got some free time and you want to check something out, well, come over here and click on a link. There's bound to be something that you can watch. Where this next section, this is kind of the daily, and this is what's always good when I jump on over. You're always in here with 3 or 4 different people playing games
or doing my art. Yesterday I finished up my my Waffles Kitty shadowing and whatnot, and I had a few people come in there and watch me, so that was nice. So it's fun.
So it's pretty chill, pretty casual. Jump on over there if you're into gaming or whatever, or you want to see some art being made, or jump on over.
Anybody could come into the chat. You see us in there, it's not clicky at all. Come in, we're very welcoming and nice.
And then we have a bunch of the usual
silly
business. So the MVE is completely open to the public. Now, if I click over here, do you see that?
Yes.
Did that come up?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can give people a bit of a
sneaky
backstage look. So this is the UDU server, which, like we said, it's very locked down, very exclusive. Very rarely gets access, and there is a very thorough vetting process for you to get access to all of this. So I went through and patched in DTech's amazing work to upgrade all the different, the thumbnails and all the bits and pieces. So within the UDU server, we have several management channels. So the Sovereigns chat, now the Sentinels chat, BS and whatnot, which is always a fun channel for us to shoot the shit behind the scenes.
It's like a hash it out kind of channel.
Yeah. We have our vetting list. I don't know. Should we have a look at that? I don't think we're going to give away too many secrets. No, we're keeping it under wraps. So
keep it under wraps.
The vetting list is some basic data where the vetting team, if they have some spare time, the vetting team can go and see who's next on the list. It has their EOS account, it has their Upland account, and they can dive in and that sort of stuff. Vetting chat, that's where we talk about who's in the vetting list, what's next. Have they passed? There's a red flag here. Let's dive into that a bit deeper. Yep, they've passed. They're ready to be onboarded and that sort of thing. General chat, again, another announcements channel. We've just put these 2 new ones up. I put them up yesterday for the new Udu Podcast, which you can see emblazoned on the front there in the middle. General chat, build chat, property trading sales, and a voice channel, which doesn't get much action because we get together and chat in other stuff. Temporary. Goals, to-do lists, new cities, blah, 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 blah. Show us your nodes, show us your wham.
So like the nodes, basically we have the node channels separated so that people, like if there's only information about one node and you're not a part of it, you don't have to be like adhered.
Yeah.
And you won't be disturbed. Whereas if you are in that node and there's information that's coming out, you want to be disturbed.
Yeah. And within the UDU structure, like if you're a new member in the server, like if you're in that probationary period, you don't have access to any of these UDU channels. If you're a UDU member and you only have node properties in Midtown Terrace, hello DTech.
Hello DTech.
with his crazy new avatar. That's hilarious. But yeah, if you're a UDU member and you only have Midtown Terrace node properties, well, you don't have access to the Lone Mountain Supermile Strop. You don't have access to all these other ones. And this is a way that we can protect what those individual node managers are doing. We can protect their investment almost. So that was one of the new changes. And of course, other is the usual fun stuff off the chat, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a whole bunch of storage channels. So that's about it.
That a special treat this episode.
And maybe to wrap up, we'll have a bit of a dive into what the podcast is going to be all about, the new podcast show. I think, where was that? Oh, that's in the MVE server. So I can pull that up again. Not the server, the website. So you got that there?
Yes.
So this is on the MVE Productions website. So Udu Podcast News. So yeah, previously we used to run team meetings, once a week team meetings. And that was all talking about a little bit about Upland and a lot of stuff about, the inner workings of the UDU team and that sort of thing. So we were doing that. We were doing the Breaking Badly news show. We were talking about the Upland Mash show. We've been talking about that for not well over a year, but for ages about that was going to be like an open to the public show, games, giveaways, prizes, and that sort of thing. The new UDU podcast will mesh all of those together. So there's going to be the news segment at the front. There's going to be the UDU team meeting segment. And then there's going to be an open kind of chat, open to the public, come on in, that sort of stuff. So the big hook for this, which we're going to see how we go, is all live participants that are in the recording of the UDU podcast will have the opportunity to go into the running for a weekly chance at winning 1 million UPEX, as well as a bunch of sponsored prizes. If you want to be involved in this, you have to be within the MVE Discord server. Because that's where you're going to get the link to the Zoom and that sort of stuff. And you have to be live in the Zoom chat to have any chance at winning that big prize. A little bit different with the weekly challenges, like potentially for the weekly challenge, like you could watch or listen to the podcast after it's been recorded, and you could still be able to follow the steps to qualify for that prize. Do you remember? I always throw this to you, and you freak out. Do you remember what this week's challenge is? What's the prize is? This is take 2. We did it in the team meeting. Do you remember?
All right. So any Whine and Cheese NFT of your choice, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's the prize. But what's the challenge?
Oh fuck.
Screenshots.
All right. Yes. Oh God. Without your help, you have to screenshot to show that you're subscribed to the MVE YouTube channel.
Yeah, and you have to post that within the pod comps channel within the MVE server. So it's pretty easy to do.
Quite a few entries.
Yeah,
which is really nice.
And yeah, the more we run this, the more kind of different prizes and that sort of stuff we'll have available. And we put this other thing together. Like, I can't front 1 million UPEX every single week, so we're hoping to get in some sponsors and some advertising, and that's going to help build the funds that are going to go towards the giveaway. So yeah, if you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, hit Cheese or I up. So how you can get involved. We've got 3 different levels of involvement there: Tycoon sponsor, Magnate sponsor, Mogul sponsor, and we do have UPEX rates there as well. We're doing a special limited time only 50% off on that. We don't know how the economics is going to work, so we've kind of thrown these figures out there. For the entry level sponsorship, that's 20,000 UPEX, 50% off is 10,000. After fees and whatnot, we left with nothing, so we can't actually go lower than that. Otherwise, there's no point. But we're just dipping our toes in. Hope to get some people involved there.
And all proceeds from sponsorship and advertising go directly into the prize pool. So none of
Yes.
that goes to Benarai.
And
or
that
the
goes to
UDU.
Cheese's fat stacks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like none of that goes to anything related to the UDU. It goes all to the prizes for the people watching, the community.
Absolutely. And I should say too, like if you're listening and if you have a product or a service that's not related to the Upland economy, like obviously you're not going to be able to pay 20,000 UPIX or whatever, hit us up, let us know. There may be other avenues where we can offer, you know, maybe NFT packs or something like that. There's definitely ways to get involved. So check that out. If you click on that and zoom it in, you'll be able to see all the finer details and whatnot. But yeah, what you've said there is in the important point. Anything that we receive from sponsorship advertising is all getting put back into giveaways and that sort of thing. Yeah, I did go ahead and rehash or mix things up a bit here. So current productions, we have, of course, the Whine and Cheese show.
And my favorite, Tales of the Crypto.
Yes, that was a good one last week. And we have the new Udu podcast. So those are there. And then we have links to the previous production. So I think that's a good look. That's D-Tech's original cult UDU cult art with the goofy looking Miles. So,
He looks high.
so that's kind of where our llama has evolved to not we don't want to impose on the Upland's official branding, which this clearly was. So I think we've removed ourselves far enough away to where that's no longer an issue.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything about him's changed. So that's cool. Yeah, the Breaking Badly news show, and as we've already mentioned, the Oz and New Zealand Cafe Hour. And yeah, if you don't know where the MVE, where the YouTube channel is or the Twitter, there's links there to click on that and sort it out. So that's about it. Now, we were kind of predicting that our guest might not show up today, so I did go ahead and prepare the 1 million UPEX wheel. So just to wrap this up, do you want to have another play with that? Because you didn't, when we did the UDU team meeting this week, Jedi, it was Crypto Jedi that got to play with it. So
yes, I
you want to
play.
have a crack at it, Cheese? Because, maybe we should explain that a bit better too. Yeah, you must be in the Zoom to take part in this giveaway. You have to be there at the start of the Zoom. You have to be there in the middle of the Zoom because Jedi came up with the idea of you got to know a code word. So you have to be there in the start of the Zoom to be taken within the snapshot of people that are going to go on the wheel to choose who gets to play. You have to be in the middle or who knows, it might be 5 minutes into the show. It might be right before the end. There's going to be a code word dropped. And you have to be there at the end of the show. So if we get to the end of the Udu podcast show and we're like, rightio, let's do the 1 million UPEX wheel. We're going to spin the wheel to see who gets to play. And it's Morecheeese. And we're going to put the call out, Morecheeese, are you there?
I'm here.
And if Morecheeese doesn't answer, we're going to spin that wheel again and somebody else is going to have a chance. So if we say, well, role play, Morecheeese, are you there?
I'm here.
What's the code word?
I don't know.
Roll again.
No, I
Fuck
don't
you.
like that. I think if they're in there for the snapshot in the beginning and they're in there for the end and they're there, like, because I don't remember things very well. And I wouldn't want somebody who doesn't remember things very well to get punished. If they're actually there and they're speaking to you, I think that's good enough. In my opinion, we could play with it. Maybe. Maybe.
Because otherwise you're going to have a system where people know the show starts at this time and they know the show ends at this time.
All right. So what about this? We do the snapshot in the beginning. We roll the names in the middle. And then and then at the end, if that person's not there, then we roll again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, we'll have to think about it. But all right.
We'll talk that. We'll talk that out on the back end.
It's kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle. Yes. All right, Cheese. You ready to roll? Now,
yes.
Does that click up? Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. So here, I'm on the wrong one. That's roll 3. What's going on here? That's supposed to be roll 1. Oh, it's reloaded. That's annoying. That's a bit annoying, but that's good to know. All right. Lucky I had them saved. So give me a second. Open my donkey computer. Now, did you want to speak to the head scratching we did for the math to get this all worked out while I'm getting this organized?
No. All I remember was it took hours and it was crazy. Oh, you could talk on that. Well, it says it right there. So there's a 68% chance to win.
68% chance to win 1,000, 30% chance to win 5,000, and 2% chance to win 25,000. Now, we wanted a system where, like, it's a 3-stage roll. You don't just roll for the million straight up. There's 3 steps, and we want to have it so that the more that you decide to proceed, like if you decide to go to step 2 or step 3, the less likely it is that you're going to walk away with a big prize. So there is a carrot there to, bail out. And it just kind of mixes things up. It's not as straightforward as roll again. You're going to have to think about this. So we'll see how
I'll tell you when to press it.
All righty. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Now.
All right. So the top prize here is 25,000 UPX, which equates to about, what's that? $25. Okay. And Cheese has rolled the highest probability prize, which is 1,000 UPX now.
So I could decide to take this.
At this stage, yeah. Well, maybe you explain it while I get the next wheel up and ready.
I could decide to take my 1,000 UPX, which is $1, and be on my merry way, or I could turn it in and go to roll number 2.
Yep.
So now the 68% prize has gone down to 500 UPX. The 30% chance prize went down to 2,500 UPX, but the 2% prize is now doubled to 50,000.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, let's see what we got. 50K, hip hip hooray. Whoa, you've gone straight past it. Oh, and you nearly got the 2,500. So this is mirroring the test we did with Jedi. So you had 1,000, you decided to roll again, you've dropped down to 500 UPX. Now here you have a choice to take that 500 UPX or roll again. However, you risk going away with even less UPX.
Yeah, so let's roll again. Let's go to roll number 3, and we can see those percentages now.
Yep, let's pull that up. So roll number 3.
So now instead of 500 UPX for the 68%, we're down to 250 UPX. For the 30%, we're down to 1,250 UPX. But for the 2%, you have a chance to win $1 million UPX.
Dollars. You got $1
million UPX.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. When you're ready.
Now, a question for you. The first
yes.
roll was going around slowly. Does that happen for all of the rolls where I can kind of like say now?
It can, but I believe I'd have to check in the settings, but I can roll it once and then get it rolling, which I do on the back end. Imagine if it landed on $1 million, you would have said, hey, that was supposed to be me.
That's mine.
I think now if I do it, it rolls. Oh, no, it's stuck there. Yeah, I'm not sure why it did that. We'll look into that.
We'll look into that. But let's assume it's rolling and I say go. Now.
All right. So this is the for real one.
The for real one.
You had 1,000, you dropped to 500. Oh, you've just gone straight past $1 million.
Man. At least give me 1,250.
So 250 UPX. So what's that? A quarter? That's worth 25 cents a quarter.
25 cents. I could get some gum or a cool little sticky tattoo or something.
Yes. Now we do know people are going to say, "Oh, it's 2% chance times it by 3." The math on it, the probability is extremely low, but there is a chance.
There's a chance.
As I said in the UDU podcast, not the UDU podcast, the last UDU team meeting, I've played enough online crypto gambling things to know that it doesn't matter how low the chance is. It's pretty easy to get wrecked 3 or 4 times
played with it. Bakio played with it and got the 1 million.
Yes. Now I'm front loading the cost of this first 1 million. If the 1 million happens to go off next week, the first week of the podcast, of course that would be amazing, but I'm not going to front another $1 million up straight away. So we'll have to rethink this whole thing. So until we get that sponsorship balance up to cover it, and then we just roll with it. So we'll see how we go.
Now, how many people will be rolling? Like, how many names will be chosen? Just one, right?
Only one, yeah.
Only one. One
Only
per
one.
week. All right.
One per week. So, yeah, I'm hoping that sponsorship UpX balance, I would really love to see that get up like 2-3 million UpX. And then instead of having 1 million tag on this wheel, we'll have 2 or 3 or 4.
Or we can save it for the week after.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if that balance is up enough to cover 2 or 3 weeks worth of giveaways, we don't want to have fat stacks sitting there doing nothing. We want to give this UpX away. So yeah,
true.
We will put, instead of it being a 2% chance, well, maybe it's like, how the Powerball always keeps going up and up and up. So instead of a 2% chance, well, maybe the next week it's 4%. And then the next week it's an 8%. And then it's a 16%, If we've got the balance there to cover it, we want to give it away. So that's something we can play with it on the back end as well. So we shall see how we go. But I think that was a good wrap up, a heads up of what we've got going on, what we're all about.
I like this. This was a good one. I like it.
Alrighty, now maybe we'll talk once we get wrapped up. We'll do the Sicko challenge and all that. We have been talking that through the episode recently, but we'll go back to the original, cut it in somewhere a bit. All right. I think we're good, Cheese. I think you can wrap us up. We'll do the old stop share and you can get us the flock out of here.
Get out of here.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up.
G'day, sickos. Okay, for this free episode theme, Morecheeese NFT, as always, like and subscribe. Then head on over to the MVE Discord, tag Morecheeese, and tell us a story about the strangest place you've ever woken up in and how you might have been able to get yourself out of there if you had fat stacks of MVE bucks. Links are in the description. Later.
Empire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil empire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Evil empire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil empire, samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.